Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English. In our today's video, we are going to talk about the new seeds bill of the government. As you can understand, this bill is right now in the bill stage. It hasn't become an act. So there is a possibility that in the future, some of the provisions of this bill might get changed. So for that purpose, what we are going to do in our today's discussion, we'll understand the important aspects of the bill, but we'll more focus on why was there a need to bring such a bill by the government. Okay. Now the notes of this session, if you want to download them, they will be made available on a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live. You can go to this channel, download the notes, and while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. Okay, so let us understand why are we discussing about this bill today. Now, last month, in the month of November, the government released for public consultation a new bill which will eventually replace the Seeds Act of 1966 and Seeds Control Order of 1983. What this bill wants to do, it wants to regulate all the farming seeds that are available in the country by ensuring mandatory registration and stricter punishment for violation of the provisions of this bill. Okay. So in this regard, let us understand first of all why or what was the problem India's seed sector was facing. Then only we'll be able to understand, right, why was there a need for this bill. Okay. Now first let us understand what was the problem or why was this bill required. Now the existing laws which we have already talked about, the Seeds Act and Seeds Control Order, they regulate only the notified seeds. So not all seeds which are sold in India are regulated. So the new varieties which are notified by the government for public cultivation, only those seeds are required. So that is why it creates a very big gap in terms of regulation when it wants to ensure the complete regulation of the seed sector. Similarly, registration of seeds right now, whenever they are being developed by government agencies, private sector, they are not compulsory. So this is also another shortcomings India's seed sector faced. Also, various different kinds of seeds, green manure seeds, commercial crops and plantation crops, their seeds are exempted from being registration. The penalties that are provided under current law are very low. You will face only few months of prison up to 6 months and the monetary fine of only up to 1,000 rupees. So many have felt that these punishments, they are not strict enough to act as a deterrent for misdemeanors, right? So to deal with all these gaps, to deal with all these lacunas, we need an altogether a new bill, and this is what this new bill wants to do. Okay. Now, second, let us understand there's a very big problem that India's seed sector faces is availability of duplicate or spurious seeds. Now, responding to a parliamentary question, the Minister of State of Agriculture responded that India, it analyzed about 6 lakh seeds in total in the past 3 years. And out of these 6 lakh seeds that it analyzed, it found that nearly 43,000 of these seeds were found spurious, which means 7.2% of all seeds that were tested, they were duplicate or substandard in nature. And most of these seeds were found in agricultural heavy states like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. So this is one of the another factor, that is non-availability of quality seeds in the market. Similarly, if you look at India's seed industry, you'll find one peculiar trend, that although India's seed sector is quite huge, it amounts to about 40,000 crore annually, it creates or it generates a lot of seed than what is required by agricultural sector. The availability of seeds is 53.15 lakh, whereas the demand of these seeds is less than the what is being supplied in the market. But there is one very particular problem, and this particular problem is the kind of institutions from where these seeds come from. These seeds, as much as 85% of total seed varieties that are available in India, they have come from public sector institutions, whereas private sector participation is very low, only about 15% of total seeds that are available in the market. So the first problem that we identified was availability of substandard seeds. The second problem that we identified was lack of private sector participation. So now you know what the new bill tries to do, right? Now, before understanding what this bill tries to do, we need to understand a very important concept that relates to seed. It is called as seed replacement ratio. This seed replacement ratio means how much new seeds which the farmer purchases from the market good quality seeds it uses to plant new crops. So you can understand, if the seed replacement ratio is more or it is high, it would mean that the farmers, they are buying new seeds from the market which are good in quality, and the result of which would be the higher agricultural productivity in the India's agricultural sector, right? So for good agri productivity, you need to understand, we need good quality seeds. That means we need higher amount of SRR. But this is not true with India. In India, the average SRR is between 14 to 15%, whereas the government, it wants to increase the seed replacement ratio level to as much as 33%. So what is the reason for less use of seed replacement ratio, or what is the reason for less seed replacement ratio? It is the lack of availability of quality seeds in the market, or in cases where they are available, those are very expensive. So in that cases, what farmers do is that they utilized farm grown or farm cultivated seeds, which are basically the remnants of the previous crops, and when they utilize these seeds in the future crops, then naturally the productivity of the agriculture or the yield of agriculture would naturally be less. So this is the another problem India seed sector is facing. India's seed replacement ratio is not at the level where it is desired to be. Why? Because the seeds that are available in the market are not of good quality, or in case if they are available, they are expensive. So this is another concern the government is trying to look after. So what this bill tries to do, it tries to regulate the quality of seeds. It tries to ensure that farmers have access to high quality seeds at a fraction of cost. It wants to curb the sale of duplicate or substandard quality of seeds. It wants to ensure the rights of farmer, that in case if they are growing crops using new seeds and the yields are not as desired, they would be protected from these laws, right? Or they would be compensated for these lots. And in order to increase the supply of quality seeds in the market, the government is also looking to liberalize imports of these seeds, right? So this is what the government is trying to do through the new bill. Before understanding, let us understand important provisions of this bill. Now, as I told you, this would replace two existing acts which regulate the seed sector in India, Seeds Act of 1966 and Seed Control Order of 1983. Now, this proposes mandatory registration for seeds which are cultivated in India except farmer varieties of seed, and if you don't follow such regulations, you will have to pay penalty which is 30 lakhs, a huge amount of money, much higher than the existing fine, and it would also lead to 3 years of imprisonment if you are found guilty of sending or selling substandard quality of seeds. Now, it makes a notable exception that in cases of import of seeds for R&D purposes, there is an exemption for the need for registration, and you can understand the rationale behind it. Government wants to cultivate and develop new variety of seeds. In some cases, you might need to import the parent seeds for that matter. Now, existing variety which are already notified by the government under the existing act, they would be free from getting again registered under the new law. So this is a exemption that the government has provided. Similarly, government has also made it mandatory or extended the validity of this registration so that the companies who are researching the new variety of seeds, they are incentivized. So government is providing 50 years of registration for biennial and annual crops, whereas for long duration crops, the period of registration increases to 18 years. Also, the National Register for Seed Varieties would be created, where each and every registered seed variety would be mentioned, and who would be doing that? That would be Registrar of Seeds. And there is a set of quality that will be ensured by the government, which will be fulfilling, or any seeds that will be registered in the Indian market, they need to fulfill the Indian minimum seed certification standards. Okay, so these are the important provisions of bill. But like I said, there is a possibility that this bill is still in the drafting stage. It might witness future amendments and some of this might become incorrect. So we'll cover in detail whenever this bill becomes an act, and we'll go into detail of each and every aspects of this bill. Okay. Now what happens now? As you can understand, this bill is still in drafting stage, and what ministry has done, it has made the provisions of this bill public so that the public and experts can comment on it. And the deadline for giving feedbacks on this bill extends up till 11th of December. Now, what the ministry would do, it would incorporate the feedback which it gets from the experts and draft a new bill altogether, and it will send it to Union Cabinet for their approval. And only after this bill gets the Union Cabinet approval, it will be introduced in the floor of Parliament parliament, where it would be subjected to voting, and ultimately it would become an act after it is passed by the parliament and signed by the president. Now, according to the Agri Minister, the government actually has an intention to bring this bill in the floor of the house in the next budget session, which starts from January next year, right? And if all things go well, this bill would become an act in the budget session itself. Okay. Now, before solving a PYQ, I have a very important announcement. What we discussed right now, it deals with the subject of agriculture, and agriculture is a part of the economy subject. If you want to get classes relating to economy, which is, by the way, very important subject from your UPSC perspective, or other subjects also like polity, history, geography, you can consider taking admission in Resolution Plus batches. In our Resolution Plus batches, the benefit you get is that not only you get live classes, but also recorded lectures, you get one-to-one mentorship, mock tests for both prelims and mains, interview guidance program. All these are essential benefits of our Resolution Plus batches. These batches are available separately for students who are looking to give exams in 2027 and 2028. But before taking the admission, if you remember the code ATS Live and apply it before making the payment, you will get maximum discounts. So it is very easy to remember. You learn to thrive by using the code ATS Live. Okay. So I hope I've cleared all your doubts. Before ending this session, I'd want each and every one of you to solve this question, which appeared in 2014. In context of food and nutrition security, enhancing the seed replacement rates of various crops and achieving the food production targets, but what are the constraints in the wider implementation? This is an easy question. You shouldn't have any problem. But if you have any doubt, you can go to this Telegram channel and ask me the doubts. And also, the ones who answer it correctly, please do so in the comment section. The ones who get it right will get a thumbs up from my side. Okay. And the notes again will be available on this very channel. If you have problems in locating it, you can scan this QR code as well. Okay. So this is all from my side. I'll take your permission. Please have a very good night.